I don't care for Yone. A tepid take at best, I know. Might as well say water is wet or Republicans are deeply closeted. But can you blame me? He just fucking runs at you. His abilities go through minions, have no cost, and do mixed damage just in case you thought armor would make a difference. Go for a trade, he stat checks you. Try to run away, he will chase you all the way back to your tower and then bounce back to safety thanks to his never punished button. And heaven help you if you get matched with the one who actually knows what they're doing. The first time a Yone used their E to dodge my skill shot by moving slightly to the left, I got a pop-up asking if I wanted to lower the difficulty. Top or mid, early game or late, 1v1 or team fighting, I struggle to find a situation where Yone doesn't just win. The only upside to Yone's existence is that I haven't seen much of Yasuo since he was released. Wait a second. I haven't seen much of Yasuo since Yone was released. That's insane to think about, actually. Yasuo has been the poster boy of tryhards for longer than I've been playing this game. He's been the default picker ban for so many players for so long that I wouldn't be surprised if they made Yone just so all the Yasuo 1 tricks had a backup to keep them from dodging. Ironically, this led to even less people playing Yasuo, because why would anyone play Yasuo when Riot already made a better Yasuo?
I will not tolerate the forces of evil!
It's more than just giving Yone the same double crit passive, which would have been more than enough, since that's the only reason most people played Yasuo anyway. Yone does everything you'd pick Yasuo for, only more straightforward and reliable. Except the wind wall, but that already does nothing to half the roster. This isn't even the first time Riot has de facto deleted a champ from the game by making a better version. After all, Seraphine is really just a modern Sona, but more, I hope I'm using this right, cunty? Annoying though it may be for mains of older champions, outdoing their predecessors is kinda necessary for new champs to develop mains of their own. If they aren't objectively better, most players will just spam them on release, then go back to whichever character they were already familiar with. Go back and look at the last year or so of champion releases. Doesn't even have to be this year. Pick any year at random. How many of those champions do you still see regularly? Still, it does suck for the boomer character struggling to keep up with the meta against all those young whippersnappers and their newfangled mobility and multi-paragraph passives. Feature creep is inevitable, and you can't expect Riot to rework them all to keep up with the times. Why go through all that effort to update characters and skins people already bought? Also, I'm pretty sure certain mains would show up at Riot HQ with guillotines if they so much as look at their champ. Fortunately, I've arrived at a solution. One that will solve all the problems of both player and developer. We need a League of Legends 2.
And then I fired again, and then I missed, and then I fired, and then I fired, and I missed. I missed both times.
Let's face it, League is a 16-year-old game. League of Legends is so old that Matt Gates and your average pro Smash player would start to lose interest. Even if Riot wanted to make certain updates to the game, there's only so much they can do with a dated engine suffocating under a decade and a half's worth of spaghetti code. Not to mention, League is hemorrhaging players. Years of feature creep have made the game impenetrable for new players, while older players are dropping out due to burnout and the burdens of adulthood. A whole new game would give Riot an excuse to update the engine, clear out the clutter, and bring the game back down to a base level so that new players won't need a degree in botany just to play the game. Meanwhile, veterans would come back to check and see if the new game is just as bad as the old, and some of them might even stick around. Plus, with a shiny new game engine, Riot could implement better solutions to existing issues than hard-coding out certain interactions and anti-cheat that Pinky swears it's not spyware. The only people who wouldn't stand to gain are the current crop of players who might see the time and cost they've sunk into their accounts vanish overnight if Riot doesn't grandfather them in somehow. On the other hand, a chance to resell skins to players who make the switch might actually be the most compelling reason for Riot to actually make a League sequel. Ugh, it's gross how accurate that is. Will League 2 ever really happen? Probably not. Not anytime soon, at least. There hasn't exactly been positive press around long-running multiplayer games getting sequels recently. I just think it'd be a good way to inject some life into an old game. We don't have the luxury of previous expansions to re-release after all. We also don't have the luxury of a governor we can pay to help us get lawsuits thrown out. And that's 3 in 1 video! I expect good things from the comments section.